Hey guys, good evening. This is Kerry Williams and Dr. Brett Brimhall. We are so excited for you guys taking time out of your busy lives to join us tonight for this special webinar. If you are a guest on the line, we are just thrilled that you are taking some time to really learn what we are so passionate about. So for those that I don't know, I'm Kerry Williams. I'm from Chandler, Arizona. I was actually introduced to LifeVantage. It'll be 8 years on Father's Day. It's hard to believe. A really good friend, Kerry Dickey, called me and she said, Kerry, I have something that's going to blow your mind. I know it's Father's Day. I know your baby Luke is 3 days old. So I'll give you 24 hours to call me back. Seriously. So at that point, you guys, it was Father's Day, like I said, with a 3-day-old baby and a 4-year-old. I watched an ABC primetime report that we're going to share with you. I watched it in the middle of the night. I stayed up researching it. To me, the product was a no-brainer. It was a game changer. I was so intrigued. I stayed up researching it that night. And I really wanted it preventatively. But I was also thinking of some family members and loved ones that were struggling with their health, and I wanted to know more about that as well. Kind of fast forward 2 years later, my little one was diagnosed with autism at 2. Truly, it rocked our world. We kind of took our health for granted, and that really led us on a journey where we were just dug into all of that. We were looking to do anything we possibly could to help our son that could help him and might not hurt him. 1 year later, when he was 3, I actually met Dr. Brett Brimhall. Another doctor said, Kerry, you've got to go to Brimhall Wellness. They can help your son. And so I had the pleasure of meeting Dr. Brett Brimhall then. Dr. B, he's a chiropractor. He's taught and trained physicians for 20 years. He runs a very successful wellness practice here in Gilbert, Arizona. He trained the doctors. He's helped formulate products. He's chiropractor, nutritionist, acupuncturist, like the best of the best. Truly, when people are struggling and don't get answers elsewhere, they end up here and he helps them. So I would love for Dr. Brimhall to just kind of, share his story with you, what captured his attention, because I know he had no intention of being involved in something like this, and I'll kind of fill in the rest of my story in a little bit. So Dr. B, take it away.
All right, guys, super excited to be with you. And if you told me I'd be doing this a few years ago, I'd said you were crazy. But 3.5 years ago, I started this journey because of Kerry Williams and her coming into my office because of her son, Luke, who was diagnosed with autism. And really, I trained physicians over Canada, Europe, and the United States on nutritional products that I was a part of formulating and teaching on. And so I was very against network marketing, never done it before, but I just never saw any reason to do it. Although my whole practice and foundation was built on referral, which is how Kerry got here. And I remember working super hard with her son for over a year. Every week for a year, she was traveling over an hour to come to my office. And we were seeing tiny little improvements in behavior and things like that, but very slow and painful. And he was doing, on top of what we were doing, 35 hours therapy a week, like gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, sugar-free, what I term fun-free. And that was his life. And I just sat down with a lady tonight, almost the same scenario. This little boy that's struggling, and she didn't even want to come in because her mom sent her in, right? But she said, I'm so glad I came. Now, the answers I have now are drastically different. Hey, guys, whoever's on the screen, let's not do that. Drastically different because of what I saw happen with Kerry's son, Luke. And we're going to talk about this concept of biohacking and what this is. We all know what hijacking is. None of us want to do it. None of us want to be hijacked. We feel like our paycheck's been hijacked the first time we got it. If you ever got your first paycheck, like, where did it go? Well, guys, that's the story with our health as well, is that our health has been hijacked. And I want to show you the difference between somebody that's been hijacked and somebody that's been biohacked. Okay, this right here is the test scores for Kerry's son. So what you'll see, he's number 18, all right? These are his test scores after a year of me working on him. All right, after doing 35 hours of therapy a week, that's where his test scores were. So this is based on letter and letter recognition and sound recognition. Okay, he was tested in September, you'll see up here, and again tested in February. So he was at the bottom of the class. And guys, this after working with me every week for a year, doing everything that I do, which is a ton of different things, that's where he was. Well, this product called Axio came out, which I'm drinking right here. Okay, an energy drink. And I'm like, why are you, Kerry, giving your son a hyper, 3-year-old an energy drink? Right? Then it dawned in my head, like, what do we give all these kids that struggle with focus and memory? They're given a stimulant. Guys, 11 days in, he came into my office and had the best day I'd seen him have in over a year. Where he's remembering stuff we'd done before. He sat in my room, allowed me to work on him for the full time. And then on top, going in the back, he's remembering all these things we'd done with the previous. So his body, because of the drink Axial, because of what we're going to talk about, nutrigenomics, all of a sudden his brain became biohacked and activated where he started retaining information and recalling it. It was already there. So how many people do you know that need that and want that? Which started me on a whole different journey where I found myself a short time after flying to South Dakota to meet the scientist to develop the drink. And he said something to me that caught my eye. He said, people are tired, not because they're physically tired, because they're mentally tired. Guys, we have the answer for why people are mentally tired, and that equates to all sorts of people, from people that are just struggling with getting things done in a day, staying focused, knowing what to make for dinner, right, to those children and adults that are struggling with being able to perform in everyday activities. We have an answer for that, and it's all in this idea of what's called nutrigenomics. So you guys are going to see tonight things that in my mind is going to take over the industry of healthcare in a drastic way. Nutrigenomics is the understanding of what it is that you need to do in order to optimize your genetic potential. I think somebody's trying to hijack my slides, right? So if you guys know who that is, whoever drawn on the screen, let's erase that. But let me tell you this story. Nutrigenomics is where science is going, whether you're talking about standard medicine or holistic medicine. It's understanding nutrigenomics, how to activate your genetic potential to perform its absolute best. This industry is being called a $600 billion industry in the next 2 years. It's going to change the face of all medicine, all right, from nutritional supplements that are being taken to medications that are recommended, to even know probably who needs what medications and when. There's already tests designed to do that. So we're going to start by watching a video that's aired in 2005. When you guys watch this video, mind you, yeah, it's 10 years ago, right? But 10 years ago, none of us had a smartphone, all right? And it's changed the way we do everything. And do you want to go back to what it was like before? I don't think so. Okay, so we're still practicing medicine like it was 10 and 20 years ago. It's not okay, it's not working, right? So when you watch this ABC Investor Report, I want you to pay attention to a couple of things. One, if this is really real, who needs this now? Like, who needs these products in their life now? And write down the name of those people, because you need to share this with them. And number two, think about it. If this is an industry and it's really real and it's not too good to be true, and I'm telling you it's not, who would you like to lock arms with to share this message with the world, to impact a lot of lives, both physically, but also be able to set yourself up in a way financially to be a position in front of a trend that's going to be enormous, and where we're going to be able to impact lives for generations to come, including our own. So watch it with those two things in mind. Here we go.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock with just a few pills? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. As I found out firsthand, there may be a way to erase years, at least inside my body. Granted, it's down the road, but some scientists are wondering if a new pill I took might offer a very long life. It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment, a kind of guinea pig.
Dr. McCord, okay.
I'm here at the University of Colorado in Denver to meet Dr. Joe McCord, a world-renowned scientist.
This is pretty exciting stuff you're finding, huh?
It is. We're very excited about it.
His latest research could very well unravel the mystery of aging itself. And his decades of experiments may have the potential of adding years to people's lives and possibly prevent chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. It all centers around this small yellow pill, and for me, it begins with a blood test.
Can you scoop? Yeah, there we go.
It wouldn't be the first time I've given blood for this company.
They want to check my levels of something called T-bars, which is a rough indicator of a person's actual age. T-bars can identify a condition known as oxidative stress, a kind of measure of the wear and tear on our bodies. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing.
bad for the body,
Leading to disease.
leading to disease and leading to malfunction, and importantly, leading to what we call aging. It is a slow progression of increasing oxidative stress. That's the main characteristic biochemically of the aging process.
The problem of aging begins with the very food we eat to give us energy. As our cells burn that food, they also release toxic chemicals. Those chemicals, you may know them as free radicals, react with all the components of our cells, literally bombarding them millions of times per second, damaging all our cells. The result? Oxidative stress. We all have it. The body fights back with a system of defenses. It makes two antioxidant enzymes, catalase and SOD, whose job is to gobble up the free radicals before they can harm our cells.
So, doctor, how often do I take these?
And so, here I go. With that swallow, I've just become part of a potentially landmark scientific experiment.
Doesn't taste bad.
It's called Protandim, and tests on both mice and humans have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us.
Right now, all we know is that this preparation decreases oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is not a disease, just like aging is not in itself a disease, but it's something that accompanies and is attached to many disease processes. So you can see the age-related.
Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age. But in Dr. McCord's tests, taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old.
They all are reduced to the level of oxidative stress that one would expect, frankly, in a newborn or a very young child.
High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma. I've studied all of these: strokes, heart attacks,
Even mental disease.
yes,
Depression?
Alzheimer's disease, depression.
Dr. James Crapo with the National Jewish Medical Center in Denver is also researching Protandim for the company. But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. Dr. McCord calculates the numbers. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically.
45%, that's excellent.
Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after.
Which, if extrapolated back, is the level you would see in a newborn baby.
Would you suggest I keep taking this supplement?
I would. I can't guarantee it's going to extend your life. I can't guarantee it's going to eliminate any diseases or cure any diseases.
But we do know that oxidative stress is part of those disease processes. I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old to find out that I should have taken it.
All right, all y'all, I'm back. Now, check that out, right? Two things cool happened right there. The screen got cleared, right? So someone was trying to hijack our webinar here. But check this out. That is happening to every single one of us every single day. There are things happening to your body and to your finances every single day, whether you know it or not. And you're either getting hijacked or you're biohacking both your life or your body based upon what you know. So we're going to introduce you to a couple of super crazy cool things with that. Thank you for those that helped us fix that. So check this out. We hope. I tell you what. All right, let's try this here now. Look at that. Technology. You don't have to be a doctor to do this, and you don't have to know technology when you know people that know how. Okay, that aired one time in 2005, right? I didn't see that. Right? Most people did not. So if you missed seeing that, right, you missed the whole boat. So check this out. That aired that one time. Obviously, that was a giant news for people. That aired once. $5 million in order came in overnight. Most of those orders went unfulfilled because they're ran by doctors and scientists. They didn't have a structure in place to get those products moved and into people's hands. So what ended up happening, they put on the shelf the GNC and other places like that, which then most people didn't know what it was. And you think how many vitamin supplements are out there? None of them have any studies on them, but also then you're competing against vitamin C. So why is this so different? Number one, never before have I ever seen a supplement aired on ABC primetime with a good spot on it. Number two, universities from across the world started looking at studies and funded those studies, looking at not the ingredients in Protandim, but the actual Protandim. It's a publicly traded company. It switched from retail to direct sales in 2009, and in that time period, shortly after that, the 2009 to present, went from a $10 million company to a $200 million company, because they were trying to sell it through retail, and we know where retail is. Look at Toys R Us, guys. Look what happened to them. So we have to change. They changed distribution models because they had a product that needed to get into the hands of people. All right. So let me kind of fill you in on some of the story that was awesome with that. Look at some of these names on this screen. When have you ever seen a supplement having studies done by American Heart Association, Ohio State, LSU, Johns Hopkins? It doesn't happen. Of all the supplements I was part of teaching and training physicians on, over 200 of them, none of them had any peer-reviewed science, all right? None of them, even though I saw phenomenal results. And why do we need so many? Because it's based on old science. We are looking at how do we support a system versus how do we activate it. And this science is so real and so new that universities are not only looking at the studies on Protandim, but looking and trying to make drugs to do what Protandim is doing. And you can look, we'll talk about a couple of those. All right, so oxidative stress. If you haven't heard about it, here's what it is. It's aging. Who wants to age really fast? No one that I know of. And when oxidative stress happens, it happens to every single mammal on the planet. All right? So what causes it? Anything. Like just feeling emotionally stressed causes that. Okay? Being chemically stressed causes it. And what does it affect? Okay? Every single cell in your body. Right? So when that takes place, we got my helper here, like hitting the screen, pushing buttons, like my own kids, right? They just push the button, don't know what's happening, but that's okay. Stress happens with everything that we do, physical, emotional, chemical stress. It causes oxidative stress in every single cell in your body. So you might know people that struggle with different conditions relates to the eyes, the head, the heart, blood vessels, the immune system, brain. They name it all sorts of things. So I always think about it this way. Someone coming into me with a headache, is the headache all caused from the same reason? No. Right? But it's all tied into oxidative stress. So if you look at the picture on the left of the apple, that's oxidative stress. It's when the apple starts to break down and decay. So oxidative stress, when it happens in your cells, you start to oxidize and decay. And what happens when organs and cells start to decay, they decrease in function. So to survive, the body basically slows everything down. That's what gives us the fatigue. Right? So we have the choice with oxidative stress. We can either use the old model of reduced oxidative stress or the new model. All right, so how did Protandim reduce it by 45% in John Quinones in 2 weeks? Because it used new technology. So direct antioxidants, this comes from your fruits, your vegetables, your vitamin C's. We all are supposed to eat fruits and vegetables, right? They say, Cancer Society says 5 to 7 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. Why? It has antioxidants in it that helps to balance out what's called free radicals, so the bad guys. You can still do that, and you still should. But what if we turned on the switch that controls the activation of your body being able to make antioxidants, but not on the outside, but on the inside? I don't care how good the fire department is. If they can't put the water on the fire where the fire is, it doesn't do any good. So when we're taking antioxidants inside, it takes a while to get where it needs to be. When you're turning on nurture activation, you're turning on the cell's ability to turn on the fire department sprinkler system in every cell in your body. So that's a much more effective way, which is why we saw in his blood work, why you saw a 45% reduction in oxidative stress in 2.5 weeks. So imagine what happens if you do that every week, every day, every month, every year. What will that look like over time? I like to use the analogy of this. Like, what would happen if you had a 40% reduction in bills or a 40% increase in pay, and you had it every single month? What bills are you going to pay off first? What savings are you going to have? What things are you going to fix around the house? And then what vacations are you going to take? That allows us to do different things. The same thing inside your cells. You are where you are based upon how quickly and how fast your body can heal. If we can turn that healing on, we can have a massive difference in our overall healthy outcome. Because who has oxidative stress? Every single person on the planet. So who needs Protandim? In my opinion, every person on the planet. Because we need to activate that switch. Okay. So here's what Protandim is. Not a supplement, it's an activator. It's the solution to reducing oxidative stress. What it does is the only supplement we know proven to basically reduce oxidative stress 40% in 30 days. Okay, there's a 10-year study showed that they extend the lifespan by an average of 5 years or 7%. Okay, What it does, it regulates the survival genes. People say, well, it's all in my genes. Well, check this out. It's in your gene, but your genes express. We used to think that genes were hardwired. We now know that 90% of those are influenced by what we do to them. So when have you ever seen a supplement that's got multiple certifications in place and a 10-year study showing that it extends life? It doesn't happen, right? It only happened because the ABC investigative report that was done, the scientific community caught wind of it, and it was a huge deal because aging, there are two big, huge ideas of aging. One is oxidative stress, and one is mitochondrial dysfunction. So that's capturing the eyes of individuals like me and other physicians, but it created a huge opportunity for every single one of us. Okay, so it's the solution to slow down the cellular aging. So if you guys want to age fast, don't take it. If you want to age slow, take it. Right, so here's how big a news this is. Nerve-2, the switch that is controlled, that controls this oxidative stress, Washington State says this: we may be on the verge of the most extraordinary therapeutic and extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. So think about that. You guys know about the thing that Washington State is calling the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. When you think about therapeutic, that's just what it is. It's a therapy to work with and improve function. Preventative is just that to prevent mishaps. So you have something that's preventative and therapeutic. And if you'll look up here, it talks about it controls detoxification, antioxidant productions, inflammation, and protection of cells. How big a deal is that, guys? That's a giant, giant, giant deal. So I'm going to talk about a couple key things that really caught my eye with this. So NERV2, one of the studies was done, we're looking at a drug called Tecfidera or BG12 and looking at Protandim to see how they compare. This is for a condition known as multiple sclerosis. All right, so this is the drug company doing the research. And they wanted to see which one worked better. The drug that took $1 billion to bring to market, Tecfidera, or Protandim, that's $40 a month for people to take. All right, Tecfidera, $50,000 per patient per year to take. So you look at that bold here, it says, interestingly, Protandim, a dietary supplement consisting of herbal ingredients, was the most potent inducer and therefore may be most suited at a therapeutic strategy. Guys, I just had, I know there's Kerry in the background, right? Okay, I had a patient that came in here 2 weeks ago, right? She has MS, that's her diagnosis. She was referred to me by a doctor in California. Okay, a doctor that referred to me but doesn't know about Protandim. So she had been on Tecfidera, made her extremely sick. So she fired her neurologist. The neurologist wasn't listening to her, but I was making her sick, so she fired her. Right, so here she ends up in my office, okay, because another chiropractor says, you know, go see Dr. Brimhall, you live out there now, and guess what she's on now, right? We have a study showing the effectiveness, and it may be more suited at a therapeutic strategy, right? And that, think about the costs, not only in what the financial cost was, but think about the physical cost. Guys, we do not say we treat, cure, or prevent anything, all right? But the reason why the body's not getting well is because these fundamental systems that are in us are not working right. And we know if we can activate them, we have potential of changing the way in which our cells function. I have a client I've worked with for, guys, 15 years. One of the coolest stories in my life for this because of what I saw happen. That's great English, by the way. So when I had her start taking this product, I didn't know what was going to happen. Okay, and what I have seen happen in the last 3.5 years of being on it is a lady that went from somebody that was function at best 2.5 hours a day, okay, to where she was very reliant upon me and other clinicians to help her function just that way. She'd come home after working for 2.5 hours to take and just rest to be able to barely function, take care of her daughter at night. Guys, this individual is now going all day remodeling a house as we currently speak. And she now just flew back to meet her sister who just got a new house and was with her, where she could fly by herself. She was able to travel with her family this last year and spend over 2 weeks out of the country and function phenomenally and not have a flare-up. Okay? What we have our hands on is giving people like her, people like Kerry's son, and many, many, many others an opportunity to optimize their genetics. Okay? So it's also given me an opportunity to step into something totally different. I remember I called this lady last night and said, hey, I want you to be one of the first to know that I'm at a point now in my life where I feel like I'm taking a new vehicle where now LifeVantage is now my plan A, where my practice that was my main vehicle to deliver my passion, LifeVantage is. So where I've now signed a contract to phase myself out of clinical practice to step fully into LifeVantage. And when I talked with her, I was nervous because I knew what she relied upon me for years to help her function at her best. But guys, there are so many more people like her that need this information we have. And so it's given me the opportunity to step into and affect more lives than I ever thought possible. And we'll touch on that a little bit more later. That's called Wallergies, by the way. My kids and I call it that. Okay, so Nerf 2 is one switch. Nerf 1 is another switch. Okay, so if the mitochondria, I told you there's two theories of aging. One is oxidative stress. The other one is mitochondrial dysfunction. When you have mitochondrial dysfunction, you'll see over here in this picture, these are all sorts of conditions that happen when the mitochondria don't work. So think of people you know that have like struggle with what's called Alzheimer's or Parkinson's or seizure, or diabetes or cancer, muscular dystrophy. They all talk to mitochondrial dysfunction. LifeVantage is branding themselves as a nutritionally-based company where they're looking at how do we activate these huge genetic potential in our body to biohack our ability to function at a higher level. Guys, when your cells can't make energy, these type of things happen where people get diagnosed with conditions. Not because the body wants that, but because those cells aren't working. And a lot of it happens because of the environmental exposures we're faced with. So you now know that there are not only we know that there are key cells, which we've known this for years. We didn't know how to activate them. LifeVantage is at the forefront of understanding what those switches are and then creating products to activate them. Now, we're not curing or treating things, but what we are doing, we're not guessing about what we're doing. We're not guessing if we made the key that works. We know that this key works because we can measure and check and see what happens. That's why that blood study was so unique and different. I don't know of another company to be willing to put have ABC come in and do their report on their product, right? Because they don't know if it's going to work. All the different products we made, phenomenal products. But I don't know, right, that they work. We have those studies to back it up, and we look at individuals' lives, right, and what the changes happening in them. So if we can activate the mitochondria, guys, we can affect individuals. Now, we don't know what's going to happen. We do know what's going to happen if we don't activate them. The person's they're going to lose function, and then they're going to lower their quality of life, and they're not going to live the full quality of life that they can. We now have the potential of doing that. It's called biohacking your potential. Okay. That's what this is. So what does Nerf 1 do? Increases cell energy, increases performance in energy, helps your cells function better, improves your sleep, boosts your mitochondrial production. If your body can't make energy, everything else goes down. The only choice your body has when energy drops is to slow you down. Okay, so the concept of nutrigenomics, we're looking at specific products that activate huge sequences. Now, I said before, 200 different products I was part of, teaching about. We're going to boil it down into a handful instead of 200. And I love that because it makes my life very, very simple. So we know everybody on the planet has problems with their digestive tract unless they're doing the right things. Why? Because there's so many environmental things that are happening. So what we have here is a probiotic that's a time-release probiotic. And if you can see it, there's little round spheres right here. That technology allows you to get the good bacteria where it's supposed to go. And it allows it to heal the gut. There's something they call well-immune or a beta-glucan, and that's there. It helps the digestive tract heal. You guys will hear things like autoimmune conditions, right? All that ties into a digestive function that doesn't work. And when your digestive tract doesn't work, all these different things can happen. It ties into sinuses, joints, adrenals, brain, skin, because when you can't take in and digest and assimilate your food, you're not going to make a new, better you, right? This is my wife's favorite product she's ever been on because it's normalized our digestive tract better than anything else. And it's not because I didn't have her on good probiotics, guys. I've had her on probiotics for years. I've been part of making probiotics, right? This is her favorite product. Why? Because of the technology that's in it that allows it to get where it should be. So you don't have to take high doses. You have to take the right one to get it where it needs to be. Okay. So if you're not on it, you need to be on it, right? If we want to simplify, then if you look at omegas, every person on the planet, if they're not taking fish oil, they should. If you don't have omegas, guys, and vitamin D, you're not supporting your brain, your cardiovascular system, your skin, or immune system like it should. Every cell in your body has to have omegas. If it's not, it's a problem. And I love the thing about LifeVantage. They made it so simple for us. This little packet, okay, called the Vitality Stack. And if you see what's in it, there's your Nerf 1 and Nerf 2. Nerf 2, that's the garbage cleanup. Nerf 1, that's your energy production. Okay, ProBio, get your digestive system used to the function like it should, control the immune reaction. And the omega-3, there's vitamin D, every cell in the body needs for your hormones to your brain. How simple is that to be able to have this and take it and travel and be able to travel and take it anywhere with you? And you can trace those omegas from where they were caught back to the boat to you. How powerful is that? So now none of those caught my eye originally, guys. It was the Axial. So I want you to look at this picture on the right-hand side of your screen. This is the handwriting of my nephew, okay? That was it. And there's a little boy who was 9 at the time, struggled with learning, struggled with anxiety, all right? One of those kids, one of the last kids in the class done. You think about what his self-esteem is like, right? And then you look at the handwriting on the right. This is a week after he started the Nerve 2 and the Axio. Think about how many people you know that their brain is functioning like that on the left just because they don't know yet there's another option. This mom I sat with tonight and I watched this little boy struggling. She had no idea there was another alternative out there other than medication. And she's probably not going to find it. It's not that she hadn't been to the doctor. She's been to a lot. It's because nobody has told her yet. So I got to have the opportunity to share with her the possibilities. And I'm going to share with her these same stories that we're sharing here because we need to give them the chance to do something different that'll allow them to impact. She's like, I just know I don't want to have to use medication forever, but what are her choices? This little boy, guys, he went from one of the last kids in the class to one of the first in the class done. But I want you to not do what I did. It took me a year before I had a conversation with his mom and dad about the results I saw in Kerry's son because this was network marketing. I had my limited belief of what that is, and I thought you can only do that if you were like sleazy or whatever else like that. I avoided network marketing for over 20 years. My whole practice was based on referrals. That's all network marketing was. So I'm grateful that Kerry helped kind of knock some sense into me to help me see, look, you were already doing this, right? And so guess what? When I went to visit my brother and sister-in-law, right, I took her with me and let her share her story of what happened with her son. And I waited a year. Don't be like me. Don't let people suffer, okay? Because imagine how my brother and sister-in-law felt saying, why didn't you tell me a year sooner? So don't do what I did, okay?
Someone else with Nerve 2.
Okay, so Axio, guys, Nerve 2 activation for brain. That's what it is, liquid brain food. So who needs Axio? Anybody that wants to protect their brain, anybody wants their brain to work better, anybody wants to be able to get more done, focused and concentrated. So for all you wives out there that want to get your husbands like more focused in the zone and do what they need to get done, you want them to take it. So I guess the only people you don't give it to, I guess somebody you don't care if their brain works right. Everybody else needs it. And it's all natural, guys. What are our options out there? There's a huge need in our world for energy, right? And people are getting it in ways that aren't healthy. Soda pops, energy drinks, something like that. So give them an alternative that's cheaper, better, and affects your cumulative. What I've seen with Kerry's son and other people, where they were to where they are now, amazing. And she'll kind of feel in your story, but we need to give them that option. I never thought I would do an energy drink, guys. Never, ever. My brother-in-law gave me a Monster one time. I had like a quarter of a can. I felt so sick. I don't know why I did that, right? And the experiment, don't do it. Guys, this right here, I love how it makes me, how it allows me to feel and allows me to focus and concentrate and get stuff done. Okay. So Nerve 2 activation is applied in other places. Nerve 2 activation for skin, they call it true science. You'll see the pictures before and after, right? What can happen? I use it every single day. I use all 4 steps, right? And I use that because I want to protect my skin. One of the cool studies from LSU was on melanoma, how it had reduced the spreading and the incidence of melanoma, the worst type of skin cancers. So if that can do that for skin cancer, who wouldn't want to do it, number one, for that? But how about affecting your skin where it looks, younger? That's okay, right? If you want to protect your skin and look younger, you use the true science. Every single person on the planet that wants to look younger and feel better should use it. Okay. Also, animals. Nerve 2 for animals, Pet Tandem. If you want to check out some really cool stories, go on YouTube, look at Pet Tandem and animal. You see all sorts of cool stories. I had a lady just last week. She started for her animal, and she called me up and said, how do I get more of this? Because she's already been to the vet, spent thousands of dollars, and now this little animal is doing way, way better. Because we're just using the natural ability of the body to heal and function better. So for your animals. Physique weight loss, right? Smart weight loss. They call it physique IQ, right? Because it allows you to use smart weight loss. Now, once you look at the individual, so it's a combination of 4 things. He used this with the Vitality Stack, right? And look at the difference he had in 3 months. But look where he lost the weight. So you take that probiotic, heal the digestive tract with a protein powder that helps you replaces the fat for muscle, okay? You the cleanse to help the digestive tract, okay? Got the prebiotics in, and the fat burn helps the body break down the fat where it should. That abdominal visceral fat, phenomenal way of doing that, and it's non-stimulant. So it's a huge, simple way of activating and controlling and actually get the weight loss permanent. All right, so here's the simple way. How nice would it be to take 200 products that I've been a part of creating and condense it down into a handful? We just did that. There are so many people that would never come in and see me because I'm not covered, right, by the insurance plan, or they don't live in my state. This company's worked with great marketers where they take and they get these products and put it into a fashion, makes it affordable, makes it super, super easy to get to it, and it goes straight to the person, all right? And because they've done it with those subscription stack guys, free shipping. How nice is that, right? Amazon capitalizes on it every single day. We can now do that. So think how simple it is. Instead of my patient being on 15 plus product, they can be on just a handful and have way better doses where activating versus supplementing. Okay, so I'm going to pass the baton to Kerry, but here's kind of the special announcement I kind of alluded to a minute ago. Guys, for the last 20 years, I've taught and trained physicians, and for the last 3.5, I've done LifeVantage, and I found something that I didn't expect to find. My clinical practice, my dad practiced for 30 years. I started practice with him, and I've watched lots of physicians over the years break their bodies down, and at the end of the practice, they were still beat up financially and emotionally. My passion has always been, number one, a dad and a husband. Number two, impacting people's health, physically, mentally, and emotionally. What I found is LifeVantage has given me a way in the last 3.5 years to now be in position where I get to transition from full clinical practice to focus on LifeVantage, building that up with my plan A, because I could impact way more lives than I ever thought I possibly could. The stories that I could share and the people's lives that I've been able to impact, where I could lock arms with them, it blows my mind. But at the same time, it's brought me back alive again. What I mean by that, and from a business standpoint, this is the first time in my life where I can go on vacation and be there 100% because I'm not worried about my practice. So where else can we take a 20-year career and compress it into 3.5? And that's what's allowed me to do that. Now, that didn't happen by accident. It's been a lot of work. I've missed some things as far as games and recitals. I've drove a lot of hours, got a couple speeding tickets along the way. But what I've been able to do is impact lives that I never would otherwise. And earlier today, I did a call with my team, and I saw all these faces of individuals that have been a part of my journey the last 3.5 years. And this all started with Kerry's son, seeing the massive changes in him and me being open, because at the same time I saw Kerry's son make this massive shift, guys. A company my dad and I taught for 3 years, let him go without notice. So his income went away overnight. At the same time, right around that time, I ended up breaking my knee playing basketball. For the first time in my life, I needed a plan B. I didn't have one in place. After 3.5 years of hard work and learning and locking arms with Kerry and the team, I now have a plan B that's become my plan A, because I want to impact a lot of lives. There are a lot of people that need what we have. We need to get that to them. And I want you to kind of hear how Kerry's taught me how to be successful at building this business, and how we want to teach and train others to do the same thing, so we can impact a lot more lives, because there's a lot more of Kerry's sons out there. There's a lot of people out there that need what we have. So I want you to hear from her of how she built this giant business that impacted a ton of lives. All right, Kerry.
Hey guys. Wow, I gotta tell you, this is a big night, a big announcement. This is a really big deal. It's hard to believe, honestly. But kind of going back to my story, you know, I said I started this on Father's Day with a newborn and a 4-year-old. I watched that ABC video at 3 in the morning, and truly, the products it's a no-brainer. But I was also at a transition point in my life. I had been a retail manager for 13 years. I was a store manager at Bath & Body Works for the past 8 of those. And honestly, I was working 60, 70 hours a week. I never saw my first son, my oldest. My husband's an attorney. He did commercial litigation. He worked 1 million hours. And I felt like we were ships passing in the night. And I was truly thinking, something's got to give. I thought, you know, if I don't make the change, the next 10 years are not going to be significantly different from the last 10 years. So I was open to taking a look at this business model as well, because I knew if I kept doing what I was doing, you know, the results were not going to be any different. So I ended up getting involved with LifeVantage, and, you know, we didn't have all these, you know, additional products. We had that ABC Primetime Report with Protandim Nerf 2, and then the skincare cream Nerf 2 for your skin, and that was it. And you guys, I'm not a physician, you know, not remotely, right? Nobody was coming to me asking what they should take. But if I believe in something, I naturally share. Is anybody else out there? I can't tell you how many people I've sent Dr. Brimhall as patients, or, I've read a book and said, oh, texted someone, got to get this book, or check out this restaurant, or things like that. I think if we're passionate about something, we naturally tend to share it. And I know Dr. Brimhall, he was so against network marketing. And I said, well, how'd you build your practice, right? Happy, patients that were just thrilled with what you were doing, sharing this with others. So what I've really found is most of us do network marketing. We just don't even realize it. But when I saw these products, and again, I didn't get all this. I didn't know biohacking or nutrigenomics. At that point, I knew that oxidative stress was linked to hundreds of diseases. Protanib Nerve2 lowers it by an average of 40% in 30 days and up to 70% in 4 months. And I thought, wow, if you can slow the cellular rate of aging by turning on your body's ability to make antioxidants and regulate these different survival genes, every single person out there has it. And my next question, the business bells then were just going crazy in my head. And so my next question was, well, who knows about this? Because in business, timing is critical. So currently, we've got roughly 80,000 distributors in the world. That's it, you guys, 80,000 distributors in the world. We're open in about 10 countries. We're about to go into 7 more. But yet we have a product that every single person can benefit from. That's crazy. We just came back from our a big event, and we had maybe 5,000 or 6,000 distributors at that. So truly, a few thousand distributors out there sharing a solution that, again, Washington State University called it the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. That blew me away. But when I saw that Harvard Business Review and the Direct Selling Association, they say that the first 135,000 distributors per country have the opportunity of a lifetime. I was just so blown away, so grateful to know about this information first. So businesses, they all go through what they call this business S-curve. And you start out in the formulation and pioneering, and not everybody gets it, right? And there's the innovators and the early adapters. But think about an iPhone. How many of us had an iPhone 1, 2, or 3? Right? Very few, typically. Most people heard about it at 4, and now look where we're at. So imagine if you've got your hands on an iPhone, but clearly we're not the techies, right? We can barely click the slides forward. But we have that iPhone, but in the wellness industry, something that's going to change and impact all these lives, and we know about that first. So from a business perspective, getting in early ahead of a trend is absolutely critical. So many people have heard of antioxidants, right? So when the world realizes instead of taking antioxidants, we're making our own. Instead of that 1-to-1 ratio, it's 1,000,000 to 1 per second, every cell of your body. And as more and more studies come out, as more research is done on Nerve2 and Nerve1 and biohacking, and that we can truly change how our genes express, but we are positioned ahead of that trend, ahead of it. You guys, like Dr. Brimhall said, a $600 billion industry, and we're at the forefront of that with independently funded, peer-reviewed, published studies. So think of that massive wave. So who are the entrepreneurs out there that want to capture that? And truly, timing's as simple as, do you want to get in at the ground floor, or, think about getting involved in Apple or Google or Facebook? Do you would you rather invest in them now or back in the beginning days? That's what we have our hands on, a baby Apple. So very, very exciting from the business perspective also. So if you're a guest on the line today and, you want to know, how do I get involved? First, we're thrilled that you took the time to check this out. If you see yourself taking the products, phenomenal. Get with the person that invited you. I love the fact that customers get it at the same price as distributors. I always tease Dr. Brimhall. I love the fact that patients get it at the same cost that the doctor. There's no fees to join. It's less than it was on the shelves of GNC. And this business model is phenomenal. It just goes straight from the manufacturer to the end consumer. And so just get with the person, let them know, and they can, get you started on the products right away. But if you have people coming to mind, like I just had people popping into my head, I kept thinking, well, if this is true, what could I do for this one, this one, this one? Or we also all know people that are looking for ways to earn additional income. Maybe they're picking up side jobs or doing Uber or Lyft or things like that. Or maybe they have a phenomenal business or a phenomenal job, but they don't have time freedom. That's what I've really found, that very few people have both time and financial freedom tied to something that they're passionate about, and you're able to bless more lives than you ever could. So if you have people that are coming to mind like that, there's several ways to become a distributor. The silver pack is $350, the gold pack is $650, or the platinum pack is $1250. If you're truly looking to build a business with residual leveraged income, then the platinum pack is absolutely the way to go. What I love about it is each pack, it contains product, and the bigger pack you get, the more product you get, and the more money that you save. With the platinum pack, you're going to get all of the different products and multiple quantities of those as well, and fall in love, be a product of the products, and get on them right away. So that's how you get involved. Now, there's multiple ways to get paid. Our comp plan is phenomenal. I love the fact that it's fair, it's lucrative, it rewards those that are out there sharing it. I love that you have built-in support and mentorship, and it truly rewards the right behaviors. So if you're sharing this with both customers or distributors, you're going to get 40% on that initial order that they first place, and then it moves into the residual leveraged component. Now, being at Bath & Body Works, I was a store manager. I was salaried. Anybody salaried out there working way more hours than they're getting paid for, right? I did not want to figure out what I was making hourly. Or maybe you're commission sales, and you might earn a great living, but you're only as good as your last month, right? April, 2nd, and you're just on that treadmill and you never get off that hamster wheel. Or maybe you're self-employed and you have employees and overhead and a whole lot of struggles or hassles as well. So with this, what we're doing is we're sharing information. I say all the time, we're not here to convince people. We share information, and truly, we get to share the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine. We get to share the only natural product proven to extend life. Are you kidding me? And they get it or they don't. And then it's a 30-day consumable product. So we're sharing that information, educating them once, and then month after month after month, as they continue to consume these game-changing products, you're getting paid again and again and again by doing the work once. But then you're also creating leveraged income. So many people on the line, most of them, I would not have known them directly, but we've been able to impact almost 80,000 lives in less than 8 years by people knowing people and just building a network to move these groundbreaking products through. So you're building this network and you're getting roughly 5% of the volume generated through your group. I love where J. Paul Getty says, I'd rather have 1% of the efforts of 100 people versus 100% of my own. Just to give you an idea, 90% of my group comes from customers. I love that. That's a solid, stable business that's built to last on game-changing products. And we get paid the same either way. But I also love the fact that, roughly 10%, so 8,000 distributors, that's how we're going to impact more lives. So we can teach and train others how to share this information. We all have friends, family, loved ones that are looking for answers, and we're just sharing a possible solution and seeing what fits for them. The last way I'll touch on is what's called the elite bonus pool. So the company goes pro 1 through 10 based on how much volume you have moving through your organization. The company reserves 4% of gross global sales. And when you hit the rank of Pro 7, that means you have at least $100,000 in product going through your organization on a monthly basis. And the Pro 7s through 10s divide up 1%. The 8s, 9s, and 10s get another %, and so forth. Two things that I love about this bonus. First, a lot of people say, Kerry, I wish I heard about this, 7, 8 years ago when you got started. Well, this bonus is the great equalizer. You could be a guest on the line tonight learning about this for the first time, and the minute you hit the rank of Pro 7, you're going to share in the gross global sales, the work that's been done since day one. How powerful is that? Could you get involved in Apple and get a fraction of a penny for every iPhone that went out in the world now? not possible, right? But the other thing I love about this is the culture that it creates. We are passionate people. We're passionate about these products. We're passionate about freedom, right? Freedom. We're passionate about helping people live their best life. We've grown this company from 3 million to 200 million. It's going to be a multi-billion-dollar company. And we're going to do that best by working together, and this bonus really rewards this. So you guys, you heard a little bit of my son's story. Like I said, I started this with a newborn. He was diagnosed at 2. 3 months after his diagnosis, 27 months after I first was introduced to LifeVantage, my husband walked away at the age of 39 from being an attorney. He was able to retire because of LifeVantage. I am equally passionate about both the products and the business. The products have been life-changing, but so has this business. This business allowed us to do 35 hours a week of therapy. It allowed us to pour so much time and effort into Luke that we never would have been able to do. And I'm so grateful for the options and the freedom that this truly gave us, because I know that helped him all along the way. And then 2 years after Todd retired is when Axio came out. So I didn't have the story of my son to build this. And people say, well, Kerry, who did you talk to, right? Well, I talked to everybody. Are you kidding? We've got our hands on the most extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. I might sound like a broken record, but really, who do you not want to share that with, right? So I talked to Maria, my next door neighbor. We got this off the ground together. And she's a pro 9 with this company, and you can look at our income disclosure statement. I love that we're publicly traded, and see what are people truly making. Is this worth my time and my effort? So Maria is a pro 9 with this company. I'm a pro 9 with this company. I talked to my yoga instructor, Marisa. She's a pro 7. I talked to my old boss that hired me at Bath & Body Works, Tess. She's a pro 7. I talked to my doctor, right? Dr. Brimhall is a pro 7. And so many other friends, families, loved ones. And, a lot of distributors just want to casually share this with family and friends. I love that. And then there's a small group of people that really see the vision with this, and they're looking to create that time and financial freedom and build that residual leveraged income. See this as the vehicle. And I love the fact that we link arms and we work together, and we're here to help you get whatever you want out of this, and you're not in it alone. So just know that this is real. If you look at the average Pro 3 has $5,000 of product going through the group on a monthly basis. So the average Pro 3, an extra $580. Who do you know that could benefit from $580 extra month after month after month based on work they've done in the past? Or the average Pro 5, $2,500. Or like I said, Pro 7s where you hit those global bonus pools, and that's over $11,000. So yes, it takes work, but I can guarantee you there's a lot of hard workers on this phone, and I know that I was working hard, and I would have been working hard forever. And in just a few years, we've been able to make in a month what I made in a year at Bath & Body Works. You guys, that's crazy. That blows my mind, right? I'm the Bath & Body Works manager. I'm the lotion girl. If Kerry can do this, other people can do that. But I love network marketing for that, because it's a level playing field. I don't care if you're a doctor, a truck driver, an underground miner, a stay-at-home mom, retail, real estate. You've got to be coachable. You got to have a burning desire. You got to care about others and have servant leadership, and just be willing to consistently take action over time, and have a big vision, and be willing to grow. And become just grow like crazy. It's hard to explain. But anyway, I'm going to turn it back to Dr. Brett Brimhall so he can wrap up with his closing thoughts. And you guys, I just want to say I'm so grateful you took the time to join us tonight to hear what we're so passionate about, and to hear our big announcement. We've retired another one. I've retired well over 40, and now we just keep adding to the list, right?
I don't think that's a record I'm going to be able to break, guys. We're going to work at it. So just the last thing. So we talked about biohacking in a second. Here's what I'm going to end on 2 things. One, a call to action for all you guys. One, if you're looking at the products, get on them for yourself or your family. My mom really there's 2 women in my life that have changed my world, my wife and my mom. And my mom passed away in 2008. Her dad lived to 93. Her mom lived to 97. An individual that should have been alive a long, long time. My oldest son was 8 when she passed away. And so the last 10 years of his life, he had not had my mom in place. Guys, her genetics were hijacked because of environmental exposure she didn't even know about. And right now in your life, there are people, and maybe even yourself, that your quality of life is suffering because it's being hijacked from things you don't even know. What you know tonight now are things that you can do in a very simple fashion, guys, to biohack your body's ability to heal and repair in ways that it hasn't before. That's one call to action. Start the products that make sense to you. Get your question answered. Number 2, don't have regret. Like, if you're not where you want to be because of the vehicle you're driving right now, you may want to consider looking at other vehicles. And what I mean by that is I could stay comfortably in my practice. I'm good at what I do. But it's not going to allow me to impact people's life nor create time freedom for myself unless I change vehicles. I'm so grateful for what my practice is and has been. I'm excited to team up with another clinic to help this grow so that people in my community can still have what we've tried to create and perpetuate for 40 years of my dad's practice and myself. But I'm super excited that I can lock arms with network marketing, with LifeVantage, to be able to impact a lot of lives I met, and the people that are on that call are 6 or 8 with me on the team. The lives that we've impacted with the products and the lives we're impacting with the business, I get to have those relationships forever, and super happy and excited for that. Get your question answered. Don't have regret. Use what you know to help your life and impact the lives of others, because you will only be in a different place if you decide to take a different direction. So figure it out. If you have questions, get your questions answered, and let's go. We've got a lot of lives to change, and time's running out for some people. Let's not be part of that. Look forward to seeing you guys at the top, and let's have some fun.
Get back with the person that invited you to this webinar. Thank you for taking the time. We appreciate it. Signing off. Good night, guys.
Good night, guys.